Oh, there it is, quite standard. A whoosh with like resignation written all over it. Bit of a verbal flourish at the end. I think you swore. That's clever of you.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I suppose there is
basically.
That. Yeah.
You know, it works for me. It's a piece of verbal yoga.
Yeah.
Helps me get in the right place mentally. And
well, you've said all this before. I didn't want you to bring.
So I sound like I'm going through the motions a bit with it now.
Well, with your explanation, you know, like, who did you learn it from?
The explanation is also part of the whole routine. Now I've developed it.
Yeah, but if I was teaching you about, say, lead mining in Thailand, right?
Yeah.
So week one, I said, right, well, the lead main seams of lead are about 50 foot below, right, the surface. I'll tell you more next week. Next week, I say the lead mines are about 50 feet between the surface.
Am I coming to a college or something to do this? Is this a distance learning thing on the internet, or have I got to go to the tech college to sit through this 3-second lecture?
Oh, it's so frustrating. What I'm saying
I don't understand what you're saying.
You've said the same thing 16 times. It's a kite,
and yet you still question it.
All right, forget it.
Can you just accept it?
Are you in a bad mood or something?
I'm fine. Well, I was.
Do you want some apple juice or some like fun yogurt from the fridge?
No, I'm all right, thanks.
Yeah. Okay, right. Well, what to call you this week? Mr. Conker? Mr. Conkers?
What, this is because my head's like a conker?
The horse chestnut?
Fucking hell.
Or, of course, you can be Ronnie Hot Dog if you want to be Ronnie Hot Dog.
Well, I'll be Ronnie Hot Dog, I think.
All right.
I don't really like the conker thing.
Okay. Hello, Ronnie, the hot dog.
Hello, Honky Tonk.
Thank you very much.
Here we go. Hey, that fella from Eggheads has been arrested in connection with a possible murder.
I heard this.
Would you like to confess to a crime that you may or may not have committed in the past? Be careful.
Something exciting.
Be careful.
Yeah,
because, you know,
what?
You might say something in jest, and before you know it, you're in the slammer.
Have you seen the film Top Carpy?
What?
Top Carpy. It's not about best in class carp fish. No, it's like where you steal jewels and ancient artifacts by gaining entrance to the museum high up on a wire.
Is that Mission Impossible?
Well, they stole it off Top Carpy. I have committed one of those crimes. I committed it in Monaco. I got away with it scot-free, and I bought a Mercedes-Benz car with the proceeds, plus enough bird's eye boil-in-the-bag beef to last me until I'm 60.
And that's true?
That's true.
And because Monaco exists outside of the Interpol catchment area...
Yes, that's
you
what
can say whatever you want about that.
Yeah, so...
Nice one.
There's a crime.
Right, good. Bob.
What?
What's your PIN number?
Not telling you.
Oh, that was worth a try.
Have a guess at it. I'll tell you if you get any one right. If you get any letter right. Number. I'll give you that. It's numbers.
2168.
You got two of them right.
Oh, this is like the lottery, this.
You gave me one number too many. It's a 4-number pin. You gave me 5.
2168.
You got two of them right.
2 out of 4. That's pretty good, isn't it?
Pretty good.
Sleep tight, Bob. Sleep tight.
Yeah, we'll work on it, Andy. You never know. Do you want me to establish my credentials, or are you happy now? Are you happy now that I know?
Yeah, we'll establish your credentials, I think. Right. We'll stick to football because you've had a bit of a gripe recently about me deviating from football and trying to bring other topics into the equation. So we'll stick to football. Bob.
Yes.
Memory man, whatever you want to call yourself. Do you remember the name of the scorer of the penalty that decided the 1983 Scottish League Cup final between East Fife and Cowdenbeath? 1983 Scottish League Cup final, East Fife v Cowdenbeath, 1-0, 1 goal, a penalty. Who was the scorer? Or do you remember the scorer?
No, shit, I've lost it. I don't remember.
Yes! Yes!
I used to be the memory man. I thought I knew it all. But now I'm just the mammary man, a tit, a fraud, a fool. Bloody hell.
Yeah, you know what? You know what?
What?
I'll have to fess up.
What?
It was a trick question.
Oh, you bastard.
East Fife got knocked out in the second round.
Oh, so they weren't... Well,
it never happened.
God, you nearly gave me a heart attack then, honestly. And you know I've had my heart bypass, what you never ask about. Do you want to take this opportunity to ask about it, how I'm getting on?
Well, it was ages ago, wasn't it? A year ago or something?
Yeah, all right, I should forget about it now, shouldn't I?
But I would think so, you seem fine.
Yeah. I mean, my sternum, my chest bone's nearly bonded, so what's the fucking worry about?
Nearly's good. Nearly's better than hasn't. Right, we've got a new contributor to the podcast starting this week, and he is the secret soccer superstar.
Oh, right.
He's a former professional player who we've recruited, but what he's going to do over the coming weeks is lift the lid on the behind-the-scenes stuff in the game that we don't normally hear about. Yeah. I think he's got a website as well or something, a book coming out. But here he is with the first installment. Exclusive to us, the secret soccer superstar. Here he is with a little snippet from his time as a professional footballer.
There was one particular season I'll never forget. It was an absolute disaster. I was playing for a club who shall remain nameless, who were top of the championship. We were 9 points clear with about 9 games left to play. On our way back from a 3-1 win at Burnley, we were cruising towards promotion. And one of the lads put a DVD on the bus on the way back. It was All Creatures Great and Small. And it wasn't long before an argument broke out among the lads about who was the best character. Some of them said it was James Herriot. Some of the other lads thought it was Siegfried Farnan. And there was one lad, central midfielder, who said that Tristan Farnan was the best. But no one took any notice of him. He was a bit of a weird lad. And eventually a fist fight broke out in the aisle of the bus, which had to be broke up. It carried on Monday morning in training, and before long 2 factions had emerged within the squad. The Harriet faction and the Siegfried Farnan faction. And, the team's form after that just went to shit. I think we picked up another 5 points in the last 8 or 9 games and finished 6th. It's a nightmare.
Whoa.
There you go.
I like that feature, Andy. Are you going to tell us who he is?
I'm not allowed to. I've had to sign a non-disclosure agreement, but he has played for a lot of the top clubs, but we're not allowed to say who he is.
Oh, wow.
We'll have more from him next week, hopefully.
Nice one. I've enjoyed that very much.
Good.
Right, anyway, so do you remember last week, Andy, Mark Lawrenson?
Yes.
And Robson Jerome went for the fishing trip.
Robson Jerome, is
that
Robson Green.
Robson Green?
Yeah.
Why would I have said Jerome? Is his mate called Jerome?
He did them pop songs of Robson.
Right, so he's called Robson Green.
Jerome Green.
And they had a lovely fishing trip. Yeah, together.
They did.
So my source has updated me, and he got home and he was really excited about the day. So he says to his wife, when I do his voice, you do the voice for us, right? So, and he says to his
Lawrenson.
wife, you do Lawrence.
Because I cannot do Robson Green.
I
cannot do that one.
He got home really excited. He says to his wife, all right, Barbara.
All right, Barbara.
That's it. Hello, Mark, she said. Had a nice day with Robson Green off the telly. Then he handed her one of his Belinda wipes. They're these special wipes that Mark Lawrenson has. It's a big roll, like a big kitchen roll. They've got like air pockets. They really have. Can
you buy these in shops?
Mainly decorators. Outlets.
Not supermarkets.
Oh, they are beautiful. So she wipes his face with them. Then Mark says, "Yeah, I'm going to ask him if he'll be my friend."
Yeah, I'm going to ask him if he'll be my friend.
And she, Barbara says, "Oh, that's a good idea, Mark. Why don't you give him a ring now?" And he says, "I will."
Oh, well. Can I use the phone? Sorry, improvised there. Is that all right?
I don't mind. So Mark phoned up Robson, says, "Hi, Robson. I enjoyed fishing with you. Would you like to be my friend?"
Hi, Robson. It's Mark. I really enjoyed fishing with you. Can I be your friend?
Now, Robson, he hasn't got many friends on account of him being a little bit, a bit too chirpy, so he's cocking a hope, absolutely. Oh, I'd love it, if I became your friend. I'd absolutely love it. Maybe you could arrange for me to meet Rafa Benitez. You could arrange that for me, couldn't you? Mark says, well, I don't know about that.
Well, I don't know about that.
Hey, I know. I'm doing my extreme sausage stall at Penrith Market tomorrow. Would you like to help us out? And he says, yes, I would. That sounds very wholesome.
Yes, I would. That sounds very wholesome.
And then he says, would you mind if I tried to flog some of my hairspray range? I've got about 100 canisters left to flog.
Would you mind if I try to flog some of my hairspray range? I've got about 100 canisters left to flog.
Well, no problem, like, hey, you never know, Raffus Benitez might be there. I know foreigners like markets, like. Mark says, well, I don't know about that.
Oh, I don't know about that.
So anyway, next day, Mark arrived at the stall in his Hyundai. All right, Lawro, you haven't brought Rafa with you, have you? Only joking. And he says, look, can we not talk about Rafa, please, Robson? I don't like football.
Look, can we not talk about Rafa, please, Robson? I don't like football.
So, anyway, Robson fires up his grill, starts cooking his extreme bangers. He calls them extreme bangers, Andy, because he does a show called Extreme Fishing.
Oh, right, so it's like, play on words with that.
He catches, like, big river cows and river eels and stuff like that. Well, these are big, extreme bangers. So, Mark arranges his hairspray on the display. All going really good. Business is brisk. Then, in a bit of a lull, Mark announces, look, he says he's going to wipe down the grill with his Belinda tissues, yeah? So he turns off the gas and starts to clean it. Well, suddenly there's a bit of a commotion in the market and word spreads, listen up, Rafa Benitez is there, yeah. Well, Robson's cock is now a total hoop, yeah? Absolutely.
360-degree hoop.
Oh, absolutely. So, quick, fire up the grill, Rafa's here. He might want one of me extreme porkers. Come on, Mark, hurry up. So Mark is a bit flummoxed. So he gets the gas back on and fires it up. But unfortunately, he left a load of his Belinda tissues on the grill. And they set fire, right? They set fire to the whole roll. So he flicks at it with his fish slice thing, and it rolls off and lands in the middle of the hairspray. Fucking hell, says Mark.
Fucking hell.
Anyway, here comes Rafa. He's coming over. I'm getting it wrong. It's Robson. Here comes Rafa. He's coming over the stall. Can he believe it? Then bang, a hairspray canister explodes. Fuck me, says Mark.
Fuck me.
Rafa's security, right, obviously immediately think it's ISIS, right? So one of them runs over, punches Robson in his tits, and another just drags Rafa away at great speed. Shit, man! Mark gets the fire extinguisher out of his Hyundai and puts out the flames. Rafa, come back and have a sausage! Have a monster porker! But it's too late, he's gone, so Mark puts his arm round him and says, never mind, Robson, I'll arrange for you to meet him because you're my best friend.
Never mind, Robson, I'll arrange for you to meet him because you're my best friend.
And then he says, hey, Robson, now that's what I call an extreme banger.
Hey, Robson, now that's what I call an extreme banger.
And then...
I don't think I did that very well.
It's up to you.
No, just keep going. All
right. It was fine by me. Anyway... So, because he course referring to the hairspray as an extreme banger.
Oh, right,
the explosion. So
that's quite quick-witted, isn't it?
Yeah, of Mark. And so they both laughed till they stopped laughing. So that's Mark, what's been happening this week.
That's really good.
I think that's bonded their friendship. I think you'd agree.
I think we're going to hear a lot more from those two in the coming weeks.
All right, so who do you reckon's the most sulky-looking footballer, Andy? I've got 3 suggestions here. Andros Townsend.
Right, yeah.
Luka Modric.
Oh, strong.
Or Tom Ince. Or you might have your own. Sulky,
really moody. I can't say beyond Andros Townsend, to be honest.
Yeah, okay, I think that's...
Is this for some important research that you're doing?
I was just thinking, I saw Andros and I thought, geez, you're sulky.
Would you agree with us?
Yeah,
Andros
I do agree
Townsend,
with you.
yeah.
Nice choice. When you see a worm, Andy, do you point straight at it? Yeah, not that, like there's a worm there. Or do you move your finger about as you point to replicate the shape of the worm you're looking at? So you might be making an S shape, as you say, look, there's a worm.
No, what I'll generally do is sort of wiggle my finger in a kind of a worm style so that as I get closer to it, it realises that I'm of its kind, that I'm not an alien.
Well, what are you up to? Are you trying to bugger it or something? Why do you want to... I was just saying, look, all I meant, Andy, was you're not trying to catch bugger it or anything. Just look, there's a worm. Do you point, or do you point and put a little twizzle on?
Do you have a problem with humans and animals becoming closer together?
No, not at all.
Right,
I love cats.
Well, I'm not asked about cats. I'm going to move on to cats later on because I've got a business venture I want you to invest in. But anyway, before we do that, I want to do a quick yes/no game.
All right.
Here we go. Yes/no. Peanuts.
Yep.
Hazelnuts.
Yep.
Robert Mugabe's knackers.
I know you can't, but I'd like to give that a big yes.
Okay. 1 out of 3.
Thank you very much. I think I can guess which one it is.
Hey! I tell you what you don't see much of these days. Brookside!
Yeah.
I'm right though, aren't I?
Yeah.
Aren't I?
I remember Brookside. I suppose that's your intention. I remember
It's
it.
remembering stuff.
Remember it fun. Didn't make me laugh, but thank you for reminding me of it.
Worked on one level, didn't it? Hey, don't kids say the funniest things though? This is a new one I'm doing.
Okay.
Kids saying the funniest things. Don't kids say the funniest things though? Hey, don't they though? Hey, my kids came up to me the other day and they said, "Can we go home yet, Dad? Barry's coming round. You know, Mum's new fella, Barry. He's coming round. He's got a pre-release copy of FIFA 17. Heart were funny. Laughed so much that I cried. Cried for hours. So that's funny sad. Like at the end of a Ricky Gervais series.
Yeah, I don't get it. But I liked, you mentioned FIFA, so it reminded me of FIFA.
Fair enough, it's coming out soon.
Yeah.
Hey, have you seen them new £5 notes? Have you? All plastic and weird, apparently. I haven't seen one yet. I don't get my gyro till Tuesday.
See, I've exaggerated my laugh there because I love it because that's self-effacing.
Yeah.
Because I presume you do get a gyro.
Yeah, it's true.
I like to think of you waddling down the, what's it called, the employment office?
The Labour Exchange.
Labour Exchange, getting your gyro. Is that your set then?
Listen! Listen! Fucking listen! Oh, no, that's all I've got, sorry. Oh, biggest laugh of all. Weird.
Hey. I walked into a bar last night, right? Barman says, "Why the long face?" I said, "Well, I'm upset, aren't I? They've ran out of Pearson's brass handbags next door and mine is as stiff as a teenager's sheets."
That's just a
good.
joke, really.
That's strong.
Yeah?
I'm not going to say why, but it is.
Have you ever noticed? No, I bet you have. Have you ever noticed you're queuing at the post office and just as it's your turn, all the windows close, apart from one, and it's the bloke with 2 brass hands and a rape conviction?
No?
Not really.
No, well, as soon as I said that bit, I wished I hadn't bothered with it.
Have you ever noticed? You're at a swimming pool, there's always one pensioner. Do you remember pensioners? Meandering up and down the same lane at a snail's pace. And every time you get out of his way, your brass hand gets caught on the filter inlet. Have you ever noticed that?
That thing you did at the end there, that was really annoying. I think you should have gone long on filter inlet. But that's just me.
Here's a funny thing here, because you do this? My next one, I didn't finish it. It says, hey, do you remember teenagers? You don't hear so much about them these days, do you? And it petered out, so I crossed it out. But you said that, didn't you? Do you remember? Oh, no, you said funny things what kids say.
Nah, different thing altogether.
Completely different, yeah. So
you've gone up a blind alley with that, remember teenagers, but my don't kids say the funniest things.
Yeah.
That can go on for weeks.
Well,
it will.
Can I just say that I thought your set was absolutely terrific. Who do you reckon, Andy, as an institution, who do you reckon has more hose pipe? More hose, I should say.
Yeah.
The fire brigade or Dino Rod?
That's a good one.
No, I know they've both got.
Because the fire brigade's under a lot of cuts at the minute.
Yeah.
And Dino Rod's here to stay, isn't it?
Dino Rod's.
I'm going to go Dino Rod.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, I'll try and find out.
Oh, you mean you don't know?
No, I have no idea. I just thought it was interesting. I wonder who's got the most.
I've got a new game for us to play, Bob. It's called the numbers game.
Okay.
Right, I want you to give me a number between 10 and 24.
Okay, I say it, do I?
Yeah, please.
15, thank you.
15 right now. Well, it's 2016 now, so we deduct 15 from that.
Right.
Which gives us 2001.
Right.
That leads on to the second part of this. Bob, in 2001, were you a complete arsehole or a massive bellend?
And I can only have one.
One of the two, yeah. Complete arsehole or massive bellend.
I was a complete arsehole.
Okay. That's the numbers game. Thanks for playing.
That's a really good game. It's a
Isn't
clever
it?
game, that one.
It's going to catch on, that, I think.
Andy, do you like things that are a bit different?
No.
No? Okay, Steve McLaren, you want to hear about Stevie?
Please do.
Well, as you know, that we're in hospital. Casper was under intensive care, but he's in the right place. And I'm pleased to be able to announce, right?
Drum roll.
Yeah. That he's been discharged from hospital.
Oh.
And he's now at home with Steve and the fat lass. His abscess all drained, skin repaired. They've got this new system as well they've had to introduce to have him watch day and night. They have to do it for a couple of weeks because if he spews, the stitches in his stomach might rupture. So Mark Lawrenson, actually, he's a good friend of theirs. He came around and he fitted these little wireless motion cameras in the main rooms where he
I'm quite excited by the introduction of Mark Lawrenson into this.
Yeah, he did. He's good with little bits.
This is like in the Beano when characters from one comic strip would appear in another one, wouldn't it? Lord Snooty turning up in the Minnie the Minx story.
Well, there he is.
Anyway, sorry.
He doesn't feature, but his cameras do. They're those tiny little wireless cameras. They put them like in the kitchen, in the hallway, and that, just so that they'd see. And they're motion censored things, so they're low down. And if Casper goes past, it'll just keep him on film so they can see if he's spewed up. Anyway, night he came back. What a night that was, Andy, for everyone involved, right? They had a Poirot and Di Serrano night. Do you know the liqueur, almond
delicious liqueur, yeah.
Beautiful, yeah. Michael Owen came round. Sam Allardyce came round. Casper was allowed to stay up late to watch Bear Grylls. Doing one of his bastard shows, And the because they're bastard shows, aren't they?
Yeah.
I suppose. The fat lass made a massive pot of baked beans, toasted 2 whole long loaves, and served the beans on toast on paving slabs. To be trendy, like.
Oh, aye.
So it was a special night. After the beans were finished, Big Sam and Big Lass went into the kitchen to wash the pots. And Steve and Michael sang Convoy. He loved singing Convoy. Oh, I've got a brand new convoy travelling through the night. It's 2 up in the cabin now because Casper's going to be all right. Convoy.
Beautiful.
Casper, I tell you, he had the biggest smile on his face you've ever seen because it was actually ages since he'd seen Steve so happy.
Right.
Steve gave Casper a little hug and then popped him out of the door so him and Michael could play this game they've got. Wanted him out the way for safety. So they played this game where Steve crouches down and Michael has to try and land a little hoop directly over Steve's hair island, right? So they go 3, 2, 1. On my hair island, on my hair island, sings Steve, yeah? And as he's singing and playing the game, I tell you what happened, and this is a bit of a shit, and you'll see why in a moment. The note, do you remember the note the fat lass left for him at the house? Well, it fell out of his pocket. And Michael Owen picked it up and started reading it out. So this is what it said. It says this. It's from the fat lass to Steve. Dear Steve, I used to love you, but not anymore. You used to make me laugh singing about your convoy, and I was always in awe of your knowledge of carpet retail. But the spark has gone. You spend so much time with Casper that you hardly seem to notice me. I spent 20 minutes in the Kazi the other day shouting for you to bring the dirty dishcloth and wipe me, but you were too busy watching Poirot with Casper. I'm leaving you, Steve. I'm going to cop off with Big Sam. Unlike you, he's gorgeous. Goodbye. P.S. Your hair island is ridiculous. Well,
that's wounding.
Well, and at that exact moment, Big Sam and the big lass come into the room. So Michael he sort of grabs Sam, tells him it's time to go, just hustles him out of there. What's wrong, Steve? Why have they gone? What have you said? Then Steve shows her the note. And she says, oh, that was last week, Steve. I feel so different now. Don't be a Rodney Plonker. But just then, the television channel changes. And there's Casper with his neck resting on the remote, right? And it's rewinded. Casper, what are you doing, my love? Steve grabs the control and presses play. And you know what it is? It's the recording from the kitchen camera that Mark Lawrenson put in. And there on the table is Big Sam pumping away at the fat lass. And he's got the dirty dishcloth in his mouth so no one will hear him grunting.
Oh.
Get out, says Steve. Get out. I never want to see you again. Fuck you. Fuck you, you arsehole. Like I give a fuck, she says. It's rude, isn't it? Nasty, but it's a nasty moment in a relationship. Suddenly, Casper rears up. His throat and his chest begin to swell up. And he moves his head right toward the fat lass's face. Then he leans back. You know what's happening here.
I know what's coming here.
Don't do it, Casper. She's not worth it. Casper hesitates, but then he just does it anyway. He covers her with 2 yards. He's been in hospital as well, of deeply fermented spew. Bang, all over the fat lass. And she runs out. Bloody hell, Casper, I'll have to take you to hospital now. Steve, though, he's sure he sees a big smile form on Casper's face, and he says, yeah, you're right, it was worth it.
Oh.
Yeah?
So what's going to happen next, I wonder?
Well, I wonder what is going to happen.
God.
I wonder what's going to happen, but that's where we're at.
Coming, didn't she?
Well, I think there's a deep love there on Steve's behalf, so I hope he's able to, just end it, get on with his life with Casper, but I don't know. I think she might turn into one of those, like, what do they call them, that bother you and...
A bunny boiler.
No, yeah, it's that sort of thing. They've got a name for them, haven't they, where they follow you and they...
A stalker?
Stalker. Maybe a stalker.
Hard way to remember that, isn't
it? So, I thought it was quite a nice story, really.
Yeah,
really.
We're getting a bit of closure there. Or are we? Because maybe there's going to be a twist.
Yeah.
Maybe there's going to be a twist in the Labour leadership election.
Oh, have you been to see Corbyn?
Smoothly moving into a Jeremy Corbyn story.
Oh, you've been stalking him again,
I've been to his very last, what do you call it? Rally
or something.
His last rally that he did before the votes closed this week. And it was in Oxford.
Right.
A Labour stronghold. And he started off by doing a tribute to Neil Kinnock. You remember when Neil Kinnock did that thing? We're all right!
Yeah.
We're all right!
Yeah.
He did that exactly like I just did it there in a Kinnock voice. But then he started doing the wanker sign.
Yeah.
As if to say, Kinnock's a wanker.
Who did this, Corbyn?
Corbyn, yeah.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah. So anyway, usual stuff, 12 minutes of mumbling and bumbling about.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you front row, as always.
Stuff. I'm front row. I'm wearing one of them, those... skin tight body stocking things.
As if you're not wearing
bright red.
Why did you
with the head covered as well?
All right.
Everything. I'm just a red nude body. Right down the front.
Is that a solidarity thing? Red for Labour.
Red for Labour. Yeah, of course.
Well, you weren't wearing it, Andy. Carry on.
I was. Anyway, after it finished, I went out the back for a smoke.
Yeah.
Cut a mouth hole in the body stocking face, obviously, and. Corbyn comes out and he's got one of them vape things like you've got.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Red smoke.
Oh, nice.
So I'm engulfed in this cloud of red smoke in my red body stock, and it's pure Labour.
Yeah.
It's pure Labour. So anyway, he says, seen you. Here we go. I says, all right. He says, yeah, seen you down the front. I says, that was me, yeah. He says, nice costume you've got there. Thank you very much. It's a great set of tits on you.
Ha! Nice one, Jeremy.
Which, they are. Let's face it. He says, you reckon you're a bit of a darling, don't you? Which way do you swing? Ladies or gents? Right. And I'm pretty much heterosexual.
Right,
so I said, ladies. He says, how many ladies have you done it on then? Say, the sexual act. How many? Yeah. I mean, I'm not completely sure because I'm 44, been around the block a couple of times. So I said about 10.
Yeah.
He says, you're a bit of a slag then, aren't you? It was a bit previous. I said, well, not really. 10, 44 years. It's not that many. He says, ask me how many ladies I've done it on. I asked, how many ladies have you done it on, Jeremy Corbyn? 5.
5?
Very sure about that. Yeah. He knows. He says, that's fewer than you, but They were all very, very beautiful ladies. Flaxen hair and appropriately fragrant in the sex areas.
All right, yeah.
Clean as well. Not like some of yours, I shouldn't wonder.
Oh, that's not
Again,
very
nasty.
nice. Yeah.
Quite nasty. So there's an uncomfortable silence.
Yeah.
And he says, ask me my best one. I presume he means out of the 5
Out
that
of
he's
the
done
5,
it with.
yeah.
He says, all right, who was your best one then? And I don't think I can say it on air. I'll have to whisper it to you.
All right.
Hang on. Margaret Thatcher.
You kidding me?
Shh. You heard what I said, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's what he said.
You kidding
No,
me?
honestly. And then he just moonwalked back into the door, backwards through the door. Didn't even look round.
Just left it with that.
Just moonwalked.
Whoa.
So there you go.
Whoa.
So it's going
Do
to
you
get
think any
re-elected.
worse of him? And, you know,
Weirdly, I like him even more now.
you like him more for that, yeah.
Do we have anything else we'd like to do?
Well, I don't know, Andy. What do you think? I think probably not.
I think we're about done.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.